Hey guys, how's it going? Cold today. Well, we're in kind of it's probably average temperature for the month of December. Our previous November we just had here, the rainiest November in 60 years. For Vancouver, that says something. It rained every single day. Anyway, this video is going to be about the biggest difference between living in a van and living in a regular abode. So today, this is what I was working on. Insulating one of these opening doors here. This is flush, and then I'm going to put a piece of wood right across, screwed into that other one behind there. Problem is, now I can't open the door. The stupid lock is stuck. So I'm going to have to take some of this stuff out and rejigger that. I forced a lot in there. It's kind of hodgepodge, but the other thing is, that bottom part there, that's where my pillow used to be. So now I have no pillow. Because the pillow was pretty gross and it needed to be replaced, so I figured, hey man, use it as insulation. So what I did is I put my extra fleece sweaters into this pillowcase, and I've got a new pillowcase too actually. This one's getting pretty ratty. And tomorrow I will buy a new pillow. But for tonight, this will do. So, what is the biggest difference between living in a van and living in a regular apartment, condo, house, etc.? Well, is it the fact that you don't have a fridge? No. Is it the fact that you don't have hot water on hand? No. Is it the fact that when you're parked, oftentimes you hear a lot of noise outside the van, like cars, people? No. Is it the fact that when you go into your van, it's cold if it's winter time, and you have to turn on the heater, and it's going to take a while, whether it's a wood stove or a propane furnace or a propane radiant heater? It takes a good 10-15 minutes to get it nice and warm in here. So it's not that either. So what is it? So here is a tip from an experienced van dweller. Right now I'm in a very busy mall called Metrotown, and it's hard to find a place to sit. Tim Hortons, full. Starbucks, full. Everywhere you go to sit down, it's full. There's no seating because this place is crazy busy, and it's a couple weeks before Christmas, so the mall is packed. So what I do, go find a department store and sit on their couch. I've been sitting here for an hour. In fact, I actually fell asleep. I don't recommend doing that part, but comfortable place to sit while I relax and cool my heels for a spell, and then get back to my day. So what is it? The biggest difference is that you're living out of the van, not in the van. And that seems like common sense, but believe me, when you can't stay in the van all day. I mean, maybe some people can, but I cannot stay in a van all day and all night. Whereas in a condo or an apartment, easily done, right? You could stay in there for 2-3 days, no problem. In a van, you can't do it. And it really is the biggest difference because you're always out. It makes an impact on your life. Does it make it worse? I don't know if it makes it worse, but it definitely is different. That's the biggest difference between living in a van and living in a house or a condo. Because you're always around other people. Lack of privacy perhaps. Just dealing with other people's issues like crying babies or screaming kids or people that talk loud or people that are smoking. It's just kind of the things you have to deal with when you're in public all the time. Now, the good thing for me is that when I was in my Transit Connect, I could not be in there for that long. I mean, I would go to bed a couple hours before. I would go in the van a couple hours before bed, and that would be about it, maybe 2-3 hours. But now, with the bigger van, I find I'm fine at around 6 o'clock. I can be in the van until bedtime at around 10:30 or so. And what really helps is if I'm doing something, like if I'm working in the van, I don't even notice it. But if I'm just sitting in the bed all that time, I do notice it. But if I can find something active to do in the van, that makes all the difference in the world, rather than just sitting like a lump on a log. So to all those people out there who are considering living in a van full time and wondering what it's like, the biggest difference between the van and living in a house or apartment or condo is that you're always in public. Not always, but often. Maybe other people can do it differently and they can just stay in the van all the time, but I just go a little bit nutty if I'm in the van all the time. I just can't do it. So kind of like cabin fever to the extreme. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Take care. Have a good night.